Best gold I've seen in the box in years. This is definitely going to get us closer to that 2,000-ounce gold.
On icy waters, you have to go big or go home. For Shawn Pomrenke, Mr. Gold of the Bering Sea, going big is the only way he knows how to live. This time, he pushed all his chips in on a brand new redesigned mega-dredge called the Myrtle Irene. It was a massive gamble that could either bankrupt him or make him a legend.
It's a huge number. This is going to go a long way to paying off everything I owe. That's probably the last inland cleanup for the season.
That looks good. Keep it coming in.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Come on, come on.
With a storm closing in and his other dredge dead in the water, this is the story of how that massive risk turned into a mind-blowing $380,000 payday. A champion on the ropes, out on the choppy waters of the Bering Sea, every miner keeps one eye on their equipment and the other on the horizon. The weather in Alaska can turn in an instant, and a calm sea can become a churning nightmare without warning. For Shawn Pomrenke, that nightmare was fast approaching. A violent storm was racing towards his fleet, and his prize-winning dredge, the legendary Christine Rose, was in serious trouble.
It's almost 9 o'clock now, so that's 5 hours they've been trying to make it back. And I don't trust Doug, because now look at it, he ain't even pointed the right direction.
The dredge's powerful hydraulic pump had failed, leaving it helpless. Even worse, its massive bucket arm, weighing several tons, was stuck hard on the seafloor. The Christine Rose wasn't just disabled, it was anchored in the direct path of the incoming storm. With every wave that crashed against its hull, the immense pressure threatened to tear the ship apart. The crew was in a panic. If they couldn't get that bucket off the bottom, the dredge that had made Shawn a millionaire would be smashed to pieces and sent to the bottom of the sea. You could feel the tension radiating from the screen. Shawn's entire operation was at risk. He had two dredges in the water, his old reliable champion, and his brand new massively expensive mega dredge, the Myrtle Irene. Losing the Christine Rose would be a devastating financial and emotional blow. Time was running out and the wind was picking up. The waves were getting bigger and the stuck dredge was groaning under the strain.
It's like an amusement park ride. You look at the gantry and the spuds all way up high, makes this thing top heavy.
With his prize-winning vessel about to be destroyed, Shawn had only one choice. It was a desperate, incredibly dangerous plan that would rely entirely on his new, unproven machine. The Myrtle Irene was designed to be a gold-sucking monster, not a rescue boat. Now, in the face of disaster, it would have to become a hero or Shawn's empire would begin to crumble. The plan was as simple as it was dangerous. Ionis, use one giant machine to save another. The only way to free the Christine Rose was to use the Myrtle Irene's massive excavator arm to physically lift the other dredge's boom and bucket out of the water. It was a wild idea. Trying to perform such a delicate operation with two huge vessels being tossed around in the increasingly rough sea was a recipe for disaster. One slip, one wrong move, and the swinging metal arms could collide, damaging both dredges beyond repair. The pressure was intense. You could hear the strain in the crew's voices as they shouted commands over the howling wind. The Myrtle Irene, a machine that had barely been tested, was now the star of the show. Its captain had to carefully maneuver the giant vessel right up alongside the crippled Christine Rose, close enough for the excavator to reach, but not so close that the two ships would slam into each other. It was a masterful display of skill and nerve.
Hell of a way to wake up in the morning. Woo! Doug and Jesse, I think they got a little scared out there. Can't be getting scared out here on the Bering Sea. You'll end up dead.
With the two dredges in position, the risky maneuver began. The Myrtle's giant excavator arm reached out, latched onto the boom of the Christine Rose, and began to lift. The metal groaned and creaked under the immense weight. For a tense moment, it seemed like it might not work. But slowly, inch by inch, the stuck bucket was lifted from the seafloor. The crew let out a huge cheer as the boom arm was swung safely back onto the deck of the Christine Rose. They had done it. Against all odds, the rescue was a success. With its anchor finally released, the Christine Rose was free. Both dredges turned and raced for the safety of the harbor, making it back just as the full fury of the storm hit. They were safe, but the victory came at a huge cost. The rescue in the storm had eaten up precious mining time, the most valuable thing a gold miner has. The ships were safe, but Shawn's gamble was far from over. He had spent a fortune upgrading the Myrtle Irene, and now it had only been digging for a few short hours. The moment of truth had arrived, the cleanout. Had they found enough gold in that tiny window to make it all worthwhile? Or was Shawn's new monster dredge about to become a colossal expensive failure? Uncovering the monster's treasure. Back in the calm waters of the harbor, the crew gathered around the Myrtle Irene for its first official cleanout since the big redesign. The mood was tense. Because of all the drama with the storm and the rescue, they hadn't gotten much time to actually dig for gold. Usually a cleanout would happen after days or even weeks of mining. This one was happening after just a few hours. Hopes were not very high, but this was the moment to see if the expensive new systems actually worked. The process began. The crew started running the material from the sluice boxes, the long trays designed to trap heavy gold, through the final separator. As the black sand and gravel washed away, a gasp went through the crew. The gold traps were running thick with color. It wasn't just a few flakes, it was chunky, heavy gold. A lot of it. As they collected, cleaned, and started weighing the gold, the excitement grew into disbelief. The number on the digital scale just kept climbing. 10 ounces, 50 ounces, 100 ounces. It just kept going. The crew was stunned into silence, watching the pile of shining yellow metal grow larger and larger. For such a short amount of time on the seafloor, the amount of gold they were seeing was almost impossible. It was one of the best-looking cleanouts they had ever seen, from any dredge, ever.
Time to put it in the pickle jar. Overall, happy. We're sitting really good for next year. Now this is a good feeling. Despite all the crap that went on this season, and there was a lot of it, we pulled it off.
The final number was read aloud, and a massive cheer erupted. 191.47 ounces. It was a staggering, mind-blowing amount of gold. Shawn Pomrenke, who had been watching with a calm, steely expression, finally broke into a huge grin. His massive gamble had paid off. The Myrtle Irene wasn't just a success, it was a revolution. It was a true gold-sucking monster. That mountain of 191 ounces was a king's ransom, a pile of treasure that proved the Myrtle Irene was a beast. But a pile of metal is just a pile of metal until you know its real-world worth. The final step was to put a dollar amount on Shawn's incredible victory. That number would echo across the entire Gnome fleet and prove, once again, why he was the king. For gold miners, the final math is always beautifully simple. After all the blood, sweat, and fear, it all comes down to a number on a scale multiplied by the day's market price for gold. As the crew did the calculation, the number they came up with was almost too big to believe. At the time, gold was trading for nearly $2,000 per ounce. When they multiplied 191.47 by the market price, the result was jaw-dropping. The final total for their single, incredibly short run was more than $380,000.
So when everybody else pulled their boats out for the season, we went back out one last time. It wasn't easy, but hopefully we got enough gold to survive and keep the dream alive.
It was a massive season-making jackpot. With one cleanout, Shawn had not only paid for the dredge's new upgrades, but had also catapulted his operation into a massive lead over every other miner in Nome. It was a stunning victory that confirmed what Shawn had been saying all along. The Myrtle Irene had the potential to be the most powerful dredge in the Bering Sea, and now that potential was being realized. The crew was ecstatic, celebrating their huge payday. The win was made even sweeter when you looked across the harbor at the other crews. The show highlighted the struggles of the Kelly family, who, despite having a decent cleanout of their own, were being kicked off their mining grounds by the claim owner. It was a brutal reminder of the harsh realities of Nome. It's not always enough to find gold. You have to have the power, the equipment, and the ruthless drive to control your own destiny. Shawn Pomrenke had all three. Shawn's $380,000 haul is the stuff of modern-day legend, a testament to his high-risk, high-reward style. But the icy waters of the Bering Sea have coughed up other incredible treasures over the years. creating heroes out of ordinary people and delivering moments of pure, unscripted joy and heartbreak. The bad boy of the Bering Sea, Mr. Gold's scandals. While Shawn Pomrenke often dominates the gold count, he's not the only one to have struck it rich in dramatic fashion. The history of Bering Sea Gold is filled with legendary finds that have kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Perhaps the single greatest find in the show's history belongs to the Kelly family. In Season 10, Chris Kelly and his crew made a discovery that sounds like something out of a fairy tale. They found a massive pocket of gold trapped on the seafloor directly underneath a shifting iceberg. It was incredibly dangerous work, but they pulled out an unbelievable 800 ounces of gold, valued at over $1.2 million at the time. It was a life-changing score that no one has come close to beating since. Another legend of the show is Vernon Adkison, a man driven by an obsession to find a mythical pay streak known as the Golden Staircase. For years, viewers watched Vernon pour millions of dollars into his quest, facing constant breakdowns and skepticism from other miners. While he never had a single jackpot as big as the Kellys, his relentless determination eventually paid off in Season 12 when he finally hit a rich pay streak, proving his wild theory right and securing his place as one of the show's most beloved characters.
Get a magic marker and draw you in a task. Like, that's your office suit and you're in your office and you really ought to have a task.
And you can't talk about legends without mentioning the Queen of the Bering Sea, Emily Rydell. She started as a greenhorn deckhand and through pure grit and intelligence, worked her way up to become one of Nome's most successful and respected captains. Operating her dredge, the Eroica, she has had multiple seasons where her crew has pulled in over $1 million worth of gold, proving that she can go toe-to-toe with any other captain on the water and win. These incredible scores make heroes out of miners, but being the king of the gold fleet comes with a heavy crown. For Shawn Pomrenke, his incredible success has been matched only by his many controversies. His aggressive, hard-charging style has made him rich, but it's also made him powerful enemies and led to a string of scandals that the cameras don't always fully show. Success in the world of reality TV often comes with a complicated reputation, and Shawn "Mr. Gold" Pomrenke is the perfect example. On the show, he is often portrayed as the ultimate anti-hero, brilliant and successful, but also ruthless, arrogant, and willing to do whatever it takes to win. His famous motto, "I'm not here to make friends," isn't just a catchphrase, it's how he operates.
We got the spuds fixed, we're back up and running. Now we just gotta follow this pay streak so we can pay the bills and make some money.
This on-screen persona has often bled into real-world controversies. Shawn's hard-partying, high-stakes lifestyle has led to some serious legal troubles. He has had run-ins with the law, including a well-publicized DUI charge and reports of a bar fight that resulted in an assault charge. These off-screen incidents paint a picture of a man living life on the edge, where the immense pressure of his business can sometimes spill over into his personal life in destructive ways. On the water, the scandals are all about business. Shawn has been accused by other miners of everything from claim jumping, mining on someone else's territory, to poaching the best crew members from other boats with offers of more money. His business strategy is famously aggressive. Viewers have watched him make deals with struggling miners only to structure them in a way that gives him the majority of the profits and control. He is seen by many as a bully who uses his money and power to push smaller operations out of the way. Is Mr. Gold building a golden empire? Or a ticking time bomb? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more buried truths from the Bering Sea.